All right, and now we're going to go live on Instagram. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Wash Day Live. It is our series where we talk about topics and concerns that may come up during Wash Day. Now, today, we are going to be talking about tips and tricks for styling short natural hair. And of course, we are here for the big announcement. I wonder what it is. But if you'll stay tuned, you'll definitely find out what that juicy, exciting big announcement is. But today we're going to be talking about styling natural hair. So first I want to talk about some of the challenges. Well, first of all, let's welcome our beautiful model, Marlene. Hello everybody. Marlene, which will show you, has short natural hair. So she's a perfect model for today. She has type 4 hair. And what that simply means is that she has tightly coiled hair. Some would call it kinky, tightly coiled, and there's some challenges that may come up with that. So on top of it being tightly coiled or type 4 hair, it is cut in a short shape, and sometimes that has its challenges. All right. So one challenge that comes up is, how do I style it, which is what we're going to talk about. The second challenge that may come up is, how do I maintain this look, whether maintaining the style in the day or maintaining the style at night. Another challenge that may come up is, what products do I use to maintain this style or maintain moisture? Because as we know, or if you don't know, highly textured or tightly coiled or type 4 hair, or however you identify, tends to be naturally predisposed for dryness. So what can we do to address all of these things? And that's what we're going to talk about here today. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you 4 different techniques that are going to help you to style your clients with natural hair, or if you're a naturalista that's rocking short natural hair, you'll walk away today with 4 different styles and 2 different product options that I like to use on type 4 hair that gives me the optimal results. So if you're ready, type ready in the chat and let's rock and roll. Okay, so first of all, just to tell you what we use, I started out with a moisturizing shampoo. Again, what we want to start to do is to cleanse the hair. Of course, we're going to cleanse and condition. We're going to prep. We're going to style. We're going to finish. So during the cleanse process, I use the moisture shampoo for moisture and control, followed by the intense conditioner. I use those. They're super lightweight, but ultra moisturizing, part of the moisture and control collection. But now I am going to follow up with the necessary steps. So if your client or you is coming from the shampoo bowl, the shower, and your hair is already wet, you can definitely bypass this step. All right. But right now, I'm just using a simple water bottle filled with water, nothing special in it, to just re-wet the hair before I add the product. So one thing, based on styling natural hair, you want to make sure that the hair is evenly wet, evenly damp, evenly dry. You want to make sure that each step of applying the product, that the hair is in a very consistent state. That way you get the most consistent optimal result. Okay, so the hair started drying out since we left the shampoo bowl. So what I'm going to do is just re-wet it a little bit. Okay, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my prep product. So in this case, the prep product that I'm using is a leave-in conditioner. One of my favorite leave-in conditioners to use is the Orbe Priming Lotion. It's a leave-in conditioner, but during this step, you want to make sure that you are detangling the hair, you are hydrating the hair, you are evening out porosity if necessary, and also preparing the hair for the next step, which is the styler. So I'm going to start out, and it's a very thick formula. I like to start out with a small amount, and for some people, I like to joke around too that small is different for everybody, okay? But I just start out with a small amount, and I kind of just work it into the hair. And one thing you'll notice once you start to add your leave-in conditioner is that you can tell that the hair is so happy, okay? And it starts to define, so much so that I have a lot of clients that once they start to use the leave-in conditioner, they don't feel like they need to use a styler or anything else because they start to build on that curl definition in the styling. So the main reason we use the styler and we use that next step is because we need the hold. The leave-in conditioners don't provide any type of hold. They just kind of hydrate, moisturize, and detangle. So now that the leave-in conditioner is in there, I'm going to go ahead and move into my styler. But before I move into my style options, I want to talk to you about the tools and the tech before we go into the technique. All right. So one of the first techniques is sponging. Okay. And this is a really cool technique. You can pick this up at your local beauty supply. There's a side here that's kind of like a egg crate, and then there's another side here that kind of has these little holes in them. By some source bigger than ourselves, the hair goes into these little holes and starts to form very soft looking coils. They kind of like start to clump together. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what that looks like. And how can I forget? I always talk about our first tool, our hands. So I'll show you how we can do some palm rolling or just a rolling of the hair to also start to add some cool textures to the hair, something different. Another tool that I like to use is this cute little, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And I kind of picked this up by accident, not really by accident, more so out of curiosity, because usually for finger coils, I'll tend to use more like a barber comb, okay, with more short and fine on one side, and it goes into wider teeth on the other side. I'll go in and use something like that. But I saw this little tool because sometimes if you're just comb coiling for the first time, sometimes your hands are at the dexterity and not used to, because you'll see I'm going to have to roll the comb, and it's not something that you can easily do if you're not used to it. So I'm like, oh, what is this cool little thing? And I love it because you can part the hair and you can coil the hair at the same time. So we're going to talk about sponging the hair. We're going to talk about doing some palm rolling. We're going to do a little bit of finger coiling, and we're going to do some comb coils. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about the tools. So let's jump right into the techniques. Also, if you have any questions, make sure you put it in the chat. I'm definitely going to want to jump into any questions, any burning questions that you have at the end of this demonstration, okay? So I'm just going to re-wet the hair a little bit. Again, you want to make sure that the hair is always evenly saturated, whatever way you decide. So anything like a wash and go style or finger coils, I really want to make sure that the hair is fully saturated, okay? So you want to have a water bottle nearby, because sometimes reapplying more and more product, you don't want to overdo it with the product. So you want it to, not have too much buildup or anything like that, especially if you have low porosity hair. If this is the first time hearing about low porosity, I'm going to have to do a whole different video on low porosity, okay? So now that the hair is evenly damp and we have our leave-in conditioner on here, I'm just going to lightly detangle with my detangling brush. I'm going to lightly detangle with my detangling brush. One of my favorite tools. It took a little getting used to, but now I love the fact that the bristles are flexible. So if it hits any snags or anything like that, it's very gentle. If you have clients that are tender-headed, meaning they have a very sensitive scalp, this is a perfect way to get through it. Because the hair is short, I feel comfortable kind of short and fine also. I feel comfortable just kind of brushing through with no sections. So you'll just have to kind of play this by ear during your consultation. If the hair is more dense, you'll definitely have to do it in sections. So this is something you can play by ear with each client. You definitely don't want to treat everyone the same way. There's no one size fits all. Okay, so as I'm combing through, making sure that the hair is properly detangled, but also this helps with product distribution as well. So we make sure that the product is evenly distributed to the hair. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my styler. Today I'm going to be using the Orbe curl gelée for shine and definition, and it does exactly what it says. It gives you mega shine and mega definition. But I do want to pause for the cause and talk a little bit about definition, okay? Definition is whatever you want it to be. It is not the high standard when it comes to styling natural hair. We're not saying that definition, not having definition is bad and having definition is good. We're saying that if you desire to have well-defined shiny hair, then this is the product you're going to go to. So as a matter of fact, when you're choosing your stylers, you're choosing it based on what hold you want and what finish you want. So today we want a firm hold with a nice shiny finish. What I love about the curl gelée for shine and definition is it has these built-in ingredients that really help to moisturize the hair, because in the beginning we were talking about how important moisture is for highly textured or type 4 hair or tightly coiled hair. Okay, so we have ingredients in here like glycerin, macadamia seed oil. We have a nourishing butter complex with amazing butters like mango seed kapuasu butter, and also neem oil, one of my favorite ingredients because it's a natural curl enhancer. Okay, so I'm going to start out adding an ample amount for the whole head. I'm going to kind of just work it through. And I want to just show you the effects of what it would be like to just kind of use our fingers to kind of roll through the hair, use the palm and use the fingertip to roll through the hair. That creates a cool texture also. All right, I'm just going to turn the chair. You see, it causes that separation. It causes that texture. And this is just me just rolling the hair in a circular motion. You could kind of see that the hair is starting to get piecey and separate and clump together. You don't have to take any, defined sections, but I do work in kind of clumps around the head. And you can kind of just work visually to see what's happening, right? And you kind of shake it out. So that's the first technique. And that's kind of like palm rolling. Okay, sometimes palm rolling can also be called palm rolling when you're kind of touching up locks. And that's when you roll the locks in between your hands. That's also called palm rolling. But I call this palm rolling because I'm rolling my palm on somebody's head. Okay, I mean, it's not rocket science here. All right, so this is what the effects of palm roll. I think this is a cool texture, something that you can do when you are just running errands, going to the office, on vacation, and you just want to add something so it's just not a plain, a plain afro, so to speak, or a small afro. Again, if that's how you want to wear your hair, that's your business, okay? Like Tabitha Brown says, that's your business, all right? But at least now you know you have options. So that's a cool texture. I love it. I think it's cool, it's funky, and it's something you can do in the salon or you can do on the go. At this point, I would either diffuse dry it or put my client underneath the dryer for about 20, 30 minutes just to get a nice firm hold on that outer layer. But of course, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than that to dry. All right. So the second technique I am going to show you, just based on how it is already, I'm just going to go right into using the sponge. Okay. So again, we have a side that's like an egg crate, and we have a side that just has plain holes. I think for and this is process of like experimentation here over the years, but for the tighter coiled hair, we would usually use the side that has the holes by itself, and for looser curl hair, we would use the more egg crate side. But just for demonstration purposes, I want to use both sides so we see what the effect is on both sides. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is the same thing as the palm rolling. Look at that, it's doing it already. You see, wow, it's from some force of nature, from I don't know where. I still don't know the science behind why this works. But you see it working, right? I'm not doing anything but holding the sponge and rotating it in a circular motion. One thing I will say is that I'm doing everything in the same direction, right? So I'm going clockwise in one direction. If we start going in a different direction, it's going to kind of undo what we have done, and we don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to roll it here, and look at that. And let's just see what happens on the egg crate side. I just kind of switch sides here. I think we're getting the same action. All right, let me try it here on this side that's not quite done yet. So the egg crate side, it's not giving as much clumping. So I'm going to switch back over to the side with just the holes, and you can see that it immediately started clumping together. Marlene, I forgot to even recommend this to you. This is something you could just...
And I never know which side to use.
Yeah, this side. Yeah, all right. Well, let me not, I'm zoning out. All right, I'm getting a little carried away. I do have two more techniques. I just got in my zone because, I mean, look how amazing this texture looks. It's so cool. It's so fun, you know? And it's so easy. And this is a very, very inexpensive tool that you pick up at your ethnic beauty supply. You're not going to find it at non-ethnic beauty supply.
Does it work on long hair?
I think that it works. This is about 4 inches. I think this might be the max length, honestly, because you need the hair to be able to be drawn into this. I think longer hair, I'll move into wash and go styles, raking, finger coiling. I'll move into a different technique. So it might work with longer hair, but longer hair, I change techniques. So we did the palm rolling, we did the sponge. So now let's talk about finger coils, okay? So finger coils and comb coils are similar. And I have this cool little tool. Oh my God, I love this so much. And like I said, it was just like a little cute little discovery. I was just looking for a barber comb, really, just to do comb coils. And I ended up finding this cool thing. Okay, so with the comb coils, I'm gonna go right here. What you wanna do here is just part out horizontal rows first. Now here's the thing. There are 2 ways you can do comb coils. You can freehand it, meaning that you can just take the comb and just pick up sections, which I'll show you, or you can do it section by section in little boxes, little cubes, so it's a little bit more organized, like a bricklayer, right? I tend to go more toward the bricklayer technique only because I feel like there's more longevity. Like the style will last longer, it locks in place. Usually when you freehand it, the roots still stay a little bit puffy. And nothing wrong with that. That's your business if you like it puffy. Again, I have to keep reiterating that we are changing the beauty standards here, right? All right. All right, so with the comb coils, my hair's not in the way, right? Is my hair in the way?
It's a delay. You gotta give me a second.
It's my, okay. All right. So with the comb coils, what I did was I started with the ones, you can part and coil with the same comb. Okay, so you could actually, after you make this horizontal section, by the way, I normally start at the bottom, okay, and work my way up row by row by row. But for purposes of this demonstration, it's way more visible for you to see what I'm doing here on the side. So I'm just starting on the side. I'm adding a little bit more of the curl gelée. Okay, remember you just want it to be consistently wet or damp or saturated. So I'm just adding my product in. And normally you can use maybe a section clip to keep this away, but I think we're okay. You know, I can multitask. I try. All right, so I'm taking my first little square. If there's any length here, you can pinch that section and you're gonna put your comb in at the base and then tilt it almost at a 45-degree angle. The only reason you're tilting it at that 45-degree angle is so that the comb doesn't get snatched up in the section itself, okay? And this is where the dexterity comes in. This is why I like the little handle, because you have to actually roll it for it to coil. Okay, I'm not sure if you're really seeing that. So let's try this again. So I'm going to pinch the section. Okay, when the hair is a little bit longer, you may have to pinch the section for a little bit more control. All right, I'm going to get the comb in at the base, tilt it at a 45-degree angle, and you can see that it starts to give the hair some tension, and I'm rolling it. Okay, also you can start to hold the section so you have a little bit more of a sturdy base as you work your way toward the end. And then you release the comb, and voila. Voila. Okay, let's do one more together. And why I say this is very similar to finger coil, because if I took out this section and did the same thing with my fingers, you would have a very, very similar result. Okay, so I'm going to do one more comb coil. I'll move into the finger coils and we'll do the rest off camera. If you have any questions, definitely load up the chat with your burning questions. So I would love to get to it. Oh, by the way, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are simulcasting, baby. Every week we're gonna get better, right? Don't sleep on me, baby. All right. Here we go. So again, we're gonna hold that section. We're gonna pinch it. We're gonna get that comb in there, 45-degree angle, and start to rotate it. Okay. Now I'm gonna hold the section so that I can have a nice firm base as I wind the comb all the way down. Then I release it. All right. So that's the comb coil. I'm going to quickly just show you the finger coil, and then we're going to move off camera to complete the look. Okay. All right. So with the finger coil, same thing. Same thing with the comb coils. There are two ways you can do it. You can freehand it, meaning that you can just pick up sporadic random pieces and wrap it around your finger and curl it, or you can part it out in little sections, little square shapes or cubes or round shapes, and work on those sections strategically to bricklay if you really want to control how the hair is laying. I love to section out the hair for things like this. Sometimes the freehand may come around the face, but I tend to do more of a planned sectioning. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more of the gelée. And I'm going to part out my first section here. And just like the comb coil, I'm going to pinch it, but instead of using the comb, I'm just going to wrap it around my finger. And then I'm going to release it. So you can see it's not as much tension at the root as when I use the comb. So I'm just wrapping it around like this. This is great for, once the hair is, it can be really, really short. As a matter of fact, I'm going to demonstrate this on a shorter section toward the nape of the neck, all right? So I got my little square section here, and now I'm just wrapping it around my finger and twisting it and making it nice and snug. I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me turn a little bit more. It's like this. And then I release it. So very similar to the comb coils, except that I'm able to get a little bit more tension on the root, okay? And let me just show you what a free style would look like. The section is drying out a little bit, so I'm just going to re-wet it. Okay, and now I'm going to add my curl gelée. show you what the freestyle looks like.
Yes, we can.
Hmm?
I want to get closer.
Okay. All right.
Just give me a second.
So what I would do is I would grab a chunk of hair, start working in the product.
There's a delay on my phone. So.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. You can see it here.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's
yeah.
good. Perfect.
So you start working in the product. And now I'm just going to pinch out a little section. And when I say little, it's probably smaller than what you would do with a regular finger coil or comb coil. Kind of where the hair is naturally separating. Okay? And I'm going to do it like that. And you can do this for the entire head, okay? And this is also just kind of clumping the curls together, causing a nice cool texture. And this would be the free-handed finger coils. So I've done the finger coils, I've done the comb coils. Do you have a preference, Marlene, of which one you like more? We've done freehand, we've done comb, we've done, which one lasts longer?
The freehand, the one.
The freehand lasts longer? All right. You heard it from her. I didn't pay her to say that. I didn't pay her to say that, y'all. Okay. So I actually promised you I'm going to just show them a little section. You can stay right there. Maybe I'm going to go down to the nape of the neck here, right here. A little lower. Yep, right here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is show you what a finger coil would look like on a shorter length.
We have a couple comments coming in.
All right.
We got a compliment.
Ooh.
Marlene, you're our favorite supervisor in the whole entire
Oh my
world.
God.
You look amazing.
Turn a little this way, like that. Right, so we can see more here. Okay, perfect. All right, so
The free hand gives more of a puff.
Hmm?
The free hand gives more of a puff.
yes, correct. All right, so this would be
A fuller look.
right what the finger coil looks like freehand on short hair. Okay, so that's what the freehand finger coils would look like. I mean, sorry, freehand comb coils. Now let's see what the freehand. I'm saying freehand, but I'm so used to parting. Oh my gosh. All right. So this is for the freehand, you don't part. You just grab hair and you just start going for it. All right. So more like that. You just look for where the hair is naturally separating.
So I want you to do the comb twist.
Hmm?
The comb twist.
Yes. Yep. There we go. So very similar, you know? So you guys ready for the big announcement? I think it's time for the big announcement while I'm doing this here. So actually what I could do is talk about, should I have the camera on me for the big announcement or keep going while I'm on the big
Up
announcement?
to you. Well, let's put the camera on you. We need to see
Yeah.
more face.
Okay. Cut to talent. Cut to talent. Scene 2 cuts to talent. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm not quite done yet. It's time for the big announcement, what you've all been waiting for. If you've been watching from the beginning and rocking with me, thank you so much. I appreciate all the love, all the support. all the shares, all the questions, all the comments. It really just keeps me going and excited about teaching and, being an impact here in our community, teaching people that, hey, natural hair, tightly coiled hair can be fun. We can learn to love it. We can do cool things with it. But there's still a few people that are challenged with doing that, whether it's doing their own hair or behind a chair. But what I want to do is offer some support of some kind too. Am I giving it away? Offer some support. But let me just go back to say that, one of the hints that I gave was this is something that people have been asking me for the last 8 years. And it's like, what is it? Is it a product? Is it this? Is it that? But the truth is, 8 years ago, I was a salon owner. I had my own salon. It was a thriving salon. And I decided to step away from it. I decided to step away from the salon to pursue what I felt I was called to do, which was to go out and teach more people and impact more lives. And now that I'm saying it now, it's so amazing that sometimes you don't have revelations until you hear yourself talk out loud. So in real time, I'm having a revelation. 8 years ago, when I left the salon, social media wasn't that big. I mean, yes, it was big. We didn't have how we are with technology after the pandemic. It's really different. So when I was in a salon, I really felt boxed in a certain sense that I wanted to be able to impact the world. I wanted to touch more lives. I wanted more people to know about my mission, more people to know about this important message. And I felt that doing it one person at a time just wasn't enough. And I knew there was a bigger world out there for me to connect with. So I walked away from my salon 8 years ago, and it was very difficult. It was a very hard decision because some people leave their salon because it's not thriving, it's failing, they're not getting clients. I had clients. I was booked for months in advance, and my stylists that worked with me were very successful. If you're on the line, give that proof in the chat. And I stepped away, and I stepped away in such a big way. As a matter of fact, um, I stepped away to never return again. And I debated whether I was going to say that again, but I feel like if there are stylists watching this live, you may be in a predicament where you tried so hard to leave behind the chair. And because that is kind of a goal, as a stylist, that you maybe for some of us to not have to work behind a chair for the rest of our life. And we're constantly seeking ways to find this freedom. So when I left behind the chair, I vowed that I would not ever be back again unless I had to. That was kind of the tone in which I left, to go and pursue bigger things and to touch more lives. So this decision that I'm making, drum roll, to step back behind the chair was a very humbling one. And I want to say it in a relatable way, because there's a lot of times that we make bold declarations that we're never going to do something, and we'll never do this, and and they always say never. But now I feel differently about it, especially after the pandemic. I feel that so much has changed. Technology has changed. Hairstyling techniques are evolving. Products are changing, and I am a leader in the natural hair and textured space. And as a leader, I have a certain obligation to stay tapped in and to bring my audience the latest news. I'm still a very reliable source, and I felt that I could not relay the best and latest information if I'm not fully tapped in. So I've been traveling the world teaching this message, but is my message relevant? Is it timely? Is it innovative? And the only way I can do that and maintain my creativity is to keep my hands in it. So with that being said, I decided, and also people have been asking me, when can you do my hair? Can you do my hair? When can I, And I'm just like, oh, I'm not behind the chair. Maybe I'll let you know, da 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 da. And I felt like I also now start to feel like I'm leaving a lot on the table, right? Like people want to come to me, and I'm not thinking ahead to provide a solution. So for these reasons and many more, I feel called now to dive in to keep my creativity alive, to stay on top of any innovations, to stay tapped into the community. What are the wants? What are the needs? What are the challenges? So that I continue to be a reliable source and a leader in this industry that you can continue to trust. Okay. So, with that being said, I will be taking for a limited time because I still do have a busy travel schedule. The big announcement is that I will be behind the chair again, exclusively for people that are interested in booking. I have limited time and very limited services. You'll be able to check that out. And I'll be trying that out for the next couple of months to see what the interest is. Is it just one-sided? Did people give up on me after 8 years? Or are there a brand new audience ready to jump in Stacy's Cicerone chair? So we are going to find out about that. So here's what you need to know. If you are looking to book an appointment with me, you're going to have to do that through an app, the Spaces app. So there's a link in my bio to download the Spaces app to book services with me. So it doesn't say my name, so I want to just kind of reiterate that it's called Spaces app. Once you download it, you'll have access to our world. You join the world of Stacy Cicerone community, where you'll be able to book your services, but you'll also be able to check out the blog, check out events, and anything going on in the community. So it's very important. It's kind of like a members only thing for now because it's only me and I'm only one person. It's only 2 days a week right now with very limited services. All right. So that is the announcement. Again, I appreciate all the love, all the support, all the energy, all the interest for getting in my chair. And I'm very excited to see where this next chapter is going to take us, you know? So go ahead and download the app. The app is free. The app is free to join. So you can go check it out, look around, and whenever you're ready to book the services, you can book the services. So you don't have to book you can join without booking a service is what I'm trying to say. So whenever you're ready, it is accessible to you. All right. So right now, what I'm going to do is finish up Marlene's hair and come back with a part 2 of the finished look. I want to thank you so much. Are there any questions so far? Okay. Any questions on your part?
No, just
all right.
We love your hair.
Huh?
They love your hair.
They love my hair. Hey, this could be you, baby.
Right.
We can form a little accountability, and if this is your hair goal, I would be happy to help you to get there. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in to How to Style Short Natural Hair, and thank you for listening to my big announcement. I hope you're just as excited as I am, and stay tuned for the next Wash Day Live. We're doing it every 2 weeks for now, but I feel like we need more, baby. I feel like we need to do it every week. So we're working on that. But once you're tapped into the community, you'll know when things like that happen. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Ciao.